So you notice they have illustrations.
They always have words at the end of the sentence.
So there's words. Yeah. What else do you know about stories?
They're usually fake.
They're usually fake. Okay. So they didn't necessarily happen. Could they have happened? Sometimes the story makes sense, right? That it could have happened to somebody, but usually authors are making them up. Okay. What else do you know about stories?
They're usually fake, but they sometimes have real pictures.
Okay. So I'm going to share something with you. Okay. Stories have a problem or an event. Okay. Something happens. So we call that a problem or event. And usually at the end of the story, it's solved. Either the problem is solved or the event ends.
Or there's a problem and they can't, and you have to keep reading scenes and to figure out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what stories do. So you know that about them. Stories have characters, and you mentioned that, right? Sometimes stories have conversation, dialogue. Open yours up and see. Do you know what quotation marks are? Can you find some quotation marks? Can you look to see if there's quotation marks in the story? I don't see any, do you? So this story doesn't have characters talking, but somebody's telling the story. So sometimes that happens with stories. Sometimes the characters aren't talking, someone's telling the story. In this story, someone's telling us the story about Digby. Okay? That's a comma. Yeah, that's a comma. Yeah, so that's where you pause, right? So this story, the narrator or the author is telling a story about Digby. Okay? All right, do you think we're ready to read? The other thing to think about is setting. What's the setting of the story? Yeah!
In the house.
It looks like this one takes place in the house with Digby, right? But it could change. It could go outside, but you have to think about that too when you're reading. That setting might change. Okay, you ready to get started reading Digby? All right, go ahead.
Come on, Debbie. Let's play with my neighbor.
Oh, who's talking? Or they're not even talking. Who's telling the story? Yeah, the boy in the story. Let's see what he does.
One Digby catch the ball. Digby can't catch with you. What?
What do you think the author's trying to do there? What do you notice about that phrase or that? It's kind of a sentence, more of a phrase. You know, I'm going to show you something that's really important as a reader to think about. Look at that ending mark. It's a question. So think about a question he might be asking based on this page. Look at that! See how you figured that out? So knowing this was a question, you were able to figure that out. So he's saying, why not?
Come on, Digby. You can do it. Digby is too old to play catch with you.
Oh boy. He looks like an old dog, doesn't he?
No, he looks like a new.
Oh, you think he looks new? Okay, let's see what happens.
Newish old. Now, how do you
Think about what we did before with that question sentence. What do you think it could be?
How do you know?
Say it.
How do you know?
There you go. That's a question, isn't it? And that's exactly what he's asking. How do you know? don't try to sound it out, I want you to think about the story. Okay, so here, Digby is too old to play catch with you, right? And then they ask the question, how do you know? Now he's responding.
Because I am old, and I know more.
Yeah,
Digby is too old to play. Thus, he got way why
try what you have first. See the way. Try it. See the way.
he walked away.
Yeah, now see, think about the story again. How do you know? Because I am older and I know more. Digby is too old to play. And now they're saying the question. See the way she walks, because she's old, right? They're asking that question. Let's see what happens.
How old is Digby? Old for a dog. Digby was healed
Try it.
before I was born.
Yeah.
You is a picture from for with me when I was little.
Yeah. It sounded a little funny though, didn't it? Did that sound a little bit funny when you read it? Try it again. Try that whole page. Yep. Old for a dog.
Old for a dog. Digby was healed before I was born. Heel is a picture from heel for will.
So here's what we're talking about. Here is a picture. What is this word? Try that. Here is a picture.
Of when I was little.
Look at that cute picture. See how little the dog was? She's had Digby for a long time, right? Now Digby's old. Let's see what happens.
Did Digby play with you? Yes, Digby. Yes. And Digby, you pet.
Okay, I'm going to teach you a new strategy. Okay? I want you to try this. Watch. Yes, and Digby, blank me, learn to walk. Digby,
Helps me.
yep, so we have a read on strategy. Read on and figure it out. Okay, so instead of trying to sound it out, read on and see what is the author trying to say. Yes, because remember they're asking this question. Did Digby play with you? Yes. And Digby helped me learn to walk. Okay, so you got a read on strategy now. All right?
Did Digby help you walk? No, I helped you walk.
So the mom helped the little boy walk, right? But Digby didn't help. Okay. Let's see what else Digby does.
With one you did you and did he do? What yours did you and Digby do?
You were doing such good stuff. You notice that this not quite right there, right? So what can you do? You know it's a question. Think about a question. What else? I gave it away. What else? Yeah,
Else did you and Digby do?
but you did some problem solving there. You self-monitored. You knew something wasn't right. You didn't keep going. You just knew it couldn't be that word, right? So the other thing you can do is be flexible. You were trying what? Eels, right? Flip that vowel so we can work on some flexibility with you. If you would have started what L, it would have popped right out of your mouth, right? So he's asking the question, what else did you and Digby do? Let's see what they say.
If you give it away, you shouldn't say, oh, I gave it away.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
And they wouldn't have known. We played catch. Digby ran very fast. Sometimes she hit the ball.
Oh boy.
I can see it.
Let's see what else happened.
Todd, Digby, do catch. That's not really so
What are you noticing?
old. Cloud.
Now it's a question again, right? Oh,
And that says ow.
but you know what? It doesn't in this word. So sometimes that doesn't work. So think about a question that could be asked. You just said it. Try it.
Could Digby do tricks?
Does that make sense and sound right and look right? Yeah. Could Digby do tricks? Let's see what other question they have. Think about the story. Think about what dogs do. Could Digby do tricks? Could she? What's the author trying to say there? So think about this. This is what I'm doing. Watch my thinking. Okay? Could Digby do tricks? They're asking the question. Now they're asking another question about Digby. Could she do tricks? Could she over? What do dogs do? They do tricks. They roll over. Could it be roll? See what I did? I thought about what dogs do. And you got to think about that. You knew something wasn't right, so you're doing some great self-monitoring. Then you got to think about it. Oh, so you don't, so you couldn't use your background knowledge. Okay, so that's okay too. So then we might have had to look and try to be flexible again. You were going, right, now you do, right? Okay, yes, and Digby could shake.
Digby could jump.
Look at the picture clue still. What is that? What does she jump in there?
Jump.
What is this? You're trying to see what you're saying. Okay. Let's try this. Sorry. Comes back. Can I use this?
Yep.
What's this word? This is actually pick. So if that is pick, what's that word? Stick. Yep, see, we're using the same part here. Okay, so now try it. Yes, and Digby could shake.
And jump a stick.
Yeah, there you go.
Jump Digby to
Start that page again.
I
trying some really good strategy. You tried to read on, right? But you know, when you try to read on, read it in the whole sentence. I blanked you, Digby can't jump now. I
Told you.
See how you so you just didn't read far enough. You want to read far enough. I told you Digby can't jump now. She is too old to jump. We knew that, right? Right, we're going to stop right there and finish tomorrow. So what do we know about Digby?
Didn't know.
Yeah, what are some things that Digby can't do?
Stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of things she can, but she can do a few things, right?
Like what?
Yeah, and shake.
And not jump.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that Digby can do in there.
And
Does it make sense that the author called the book Digby? Yeah, because it's about Digby, right?
also about the
About Digby. You would have called it that? Yeah, that would have been a good title too. So, you had to do some problem solving today. What is one new strategy you will try when you're reading that you learned today? What is a new strategy? Read on. Read on and see if you can figure out that word that was helpful. And the other strategy you picked up today too is when it's a question, you have to think about what a question sounds like, right? That's helpful too. So you have 2 new strategies for you, okay? All right, we'll see you tomorrow.